Line ho, line ho. Uyu line lelo mana mine, mana wanje. Line ho, line ho. Uyu line lelo mana mine, mana wanje. Kachamama amatengazaje kusesa bakomo pamaimaje ukachamama early morning amatengazaje kusesa bakomo pamaimaje magoro ali amuyamikira akutirine lero mwana wanje magoro ali amuyamikira akutirine lero mwana wanje uyu line lero mwana wanje Agile gogo wala madingo, yamuyamikira, kujima madingo mwana wanje. Agile gogo wala madingo, yamuyamikira, kujina madingo mwana wanje. Alizina maloda, bambo wala danisi nasandeka. Alizina maloda, bambo wala jamwali nasandeka. Gonda mama, gonda une mama mwe, gonda mama jama. Gonda mama, gonda une mama mwe, gonda mama jama utapenda mwenda we.
Right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. My own name is Samuel Oludari Jerokon. I'm officially welcoming you to year 2022, and it's our prayers that you will have the best of the blessings to be the very best that you can become. Today we're joined by Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi from T-Side. We put that information already on our Facebook and other social media angle. Of course, on Instagram as well. Please do follow us. And of course, check us out on YouTube as well. And please do subscribe and like our page right across this social media. And many thanks to those that have shared this particular program. Thank you very much. So, in a short while, I'll bring you Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi. Right, welcome back. So now we have Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi. Good morning to you right on there. I think that your microphone is turned off at the moment. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to adjust that. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Good afternoon. Obviously, we're in the afternoon right here in the United Kingdom. Because I'm in Scotland here, and Comrade Odedeyi is over there in this side. That's the other part of England. So you are most welcome. And let me just wish you once again Happy New Year for year 2022 and pray for more successes on your activism and the causes that you are pushing. So thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Uh,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
great. So first of all, I know you've been on this program before, but I don't want to deny those people that are just joining in this program, especially this year. The advert that was sent out to have this program has reached about 1,000 people between yesterday and this morning. So I don't want to deny those people of knowing who you are and what you do. If you be kind enough to let us know who is Comrade Olalekan or Odedeyi and what do you do?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all the viewers. Thank you for joining this afternoon. I am Olalekan Odedeyi. I was born in Nigeria and presently I based in Middlesbrough. I am a community advocate and activist, human rights activist. I provided support under the organization of Save the Woman. Save the Woman based in Middlesbrough, and it's an African-led organization providing support to families, especially African, Asian, minority ethnic community.
Right, thank you very much for that. I will be looking at your activities. You did mention that Save the Woman. I think some people write it Save the Women, which is basically the same. And I believe that the purpose of your organization is on families rather than women. Well, families, basically. So when you talk about representing or saving the family, what are the actual activities that your organization do in order to save the woman or to represent the families?
Oh, thank you very much. Let's go back to the name, Save the Woman. It's an African organization based in Middlesbrough. However, we started right from Nigeria. We are providing empowerment training to female inmates in prison so that they will be able to have necessary skills when they left the prison after their jail time. They'll be able to have something doing and learn more skills. So it's kind of providing employment opportunity to women in prison. And in Middlesbrough, we moved to Middlesbrough in 2015. And basically, what we do, we provide advocacy support, most especially to those people that are working in gig economy. As you all know, we are in pandemic crisis, lockdown recently, and a lot of families are having challenges. They are working in frontline services and they are more exposed to this virus. So we are kind of providing support for them to have a fair treatment within the system. However, in 2019, some of our core work shifted to families that their children have been taken into care system. And we provide support to a child, to the family in a way that is beneficial to the child and the community entirely, the society at large. So,
Right.
yeah, that is it.
Okay. Thank you. And that's just to pick it straight on from there. You started by providing support for women in prison in back home in Nigeria. That's where it started from, and then we moved right on to supporting people here in the United Kingdom, and now extending into helping families with children in care, whether they are already in care or they're about to go into care. And that's a very wide sector. And not just only wide, it's also how do I want to put it, is a sector that has been criticized many times especially in they are taking steps to take away children from their families, maybe because of what they consider to be lack of parenting skills or something like that. So let's look back into the past 1 year, and I'll still be coming to the one that has to do with us right here in the United Kingdom. If you look back at year 2021, and with those challenges about restriction, COVID-19, etc., and the attendant economic and financial challenges, how would you score your operation? Did it affect your organization? And how have you been able to work through that year? Obviously, the pandemic started about 2 years back, but let's look at 2021, last year. How have you been able to navigate? But the pandemic had impact on your activities as an organization, and how did you navigate that year?
Yeah, in terms of our organization in 2021, our work is in two forms. There's advocacy support and there's also parenting support, parenting courses, education. So in terms of parenting education course, it has been amazing to us because the pandemic, the lockdown has been in a way of positive to our own side. Uh, Obviously, like I've said, we based in Middlesbrough, and our initial plan was to have a face-to-face course for families to empower them on parenting course, on what their expectation, and also to tell them more about UK laws, child protection, safeguarding issues. But because of pandemic, we were unable to do face-to-face, so we utilized online. We switched to virtual training course, and that has been positive to us because it gives more families more opportunities. We're able to reach out to more families, not just the Middlesbrough, from Middlesbrough to Scotland, from Scotland to uh, London, to even people from US. They joined, and Sweden, people joined across the globe. So that has been positive on our own side. But on the other side, in terms of advocacy support, we were unable to do the uh, to provide family the necessary more support they would have gotten if there wasn't any pandemic or lockdown, because most of the support has to be through phone, and sometimes the family needs those physical contact, emotional support. Unfortunately, we could not do that because of lockdown. However, I could say in 2021 we have achieved so much because we were able to retrieve support facilitation of return of 13 children back to their family across the UK, and also we're able to uh, protected some of these children that were meant to go to care. Like 20 of them were protected, safely protected by putting out support out to the families rather than them taking it to care, which would definitely be at the detrimental of their lives. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that. And I mean, that's quite massive when you talk about the number of children that were prevented from being taken into care. So let me get it straight on. What exactly, from your experience of um, getting involved with the with families and social services, what do you think is the actual problem between um, African parenting style and the Europe, if you want to put it as Europe, although Britain is saying that it's no longer part of EU, but then we'll take it that between the African type of parenting and Europe parenting, because I believe that is where the conflict is coming from. So what's actually the problem?
Oh, thank you very much. I think there are some things that the public needs to be aware of. I don't think it is necessary there's challenges in parenting style, because as an African, it takes a village to raise a child. And there are some basic values, culture that we imbibe we in the African community that sometimes the UK systems, people in safeguarding team, they probably say, oh, it's not accepted, it's not allowed. But that is not the main issue at the moment now, with our experience in the last 1 year of the family we work with. Because majority of the cases we dealt with are issue of Afrophobia racism, are issue of systemic bias, and most tends to be from the social services, the rate at which they abuse the power, and also the rate at which the local police were also in support of this service provider intimidating families. And when those complaints brought to us, or when those challenges come up, we try to put it across to the service provider, to the local authority, even to some elected leader, local leaders in the community. But you realize this is a systemic structure. It's a systemic problem. So one part of it is cultural, lack of cultural competency from the service provider, from the social workers. And second one is the systemic problem. This is the institutional racism, decision making that is affecting family. For instance, there's this international student that recently arrived UK under 2 months. The three children have been taken away from them. And this is a concern that an issue was raised in school. And ordinarily, the school's supposed to have a normal way of dealing with issues. But rather than dealing with issues, they escalated it to the police, from police to social services. If these people were not African, possibly they must have make use of other alternative routes to solve the issues or to deal with the matter. So that is the concern at the moment. However, in the parenting course we delivered, some parents, they honestly speak out that, oh, I didn't know that this is not allowed. I did not know this is not allowed. So they learn from the aspect. So that is why we're saying that there's need for local authority, there's need for the government to invest more in supporting families, putting early intervention plan support in place rather than taking children into care, because I believe there are some people that they profit from this aspect of taking children into care. You could see a lot of reports that has come out recently that private sector are making chunk of money, from providing private residence to children taken into care by local authorities.
Right, great. We'll also come fully into that because I saw the report as well, and one who really want to look at the amount of money that the government is investing or the government is spending on kids that are taken into care, and one would ordinarily think that it should be the last step for children being taken into care. I mean, the first step, like you just mentioned rightly, would be for the government to set up a system which helps family, even if they have problems, especially those people that are just coming into the country, where definitely they know that there is the possibility that their cultural parenting skills will be different from that of the UK. And I think for people who have aspired to become British citizens, they are required to study life in Britain or something so that they know what exactly is happening. So we still don't know why the government is not putting something like this as well with the social services, where that would be the first step, where if any parent has got a problem or any child has got a problem, and the first one will be to give them a sort of a brochure for them to read through to see what is allowed here and what is not allowed, and the reason those things are not allowed. But that is not happening yet. Of course, the report equally mentioned about all these multi-pound sector, especially for people that makes living out of looking after other children. But I want us to still look into the sources of your organization in relation to these children that were released. So you have it here that we safely supported return of 13 children from care system. So I want us to stay right on that. Uh, we know that ordinarily, when kids are taken into care, it should be with the purpose of them being returned back at some point. Whether the parents have to go for a sort of a training pending the time, so they keep the kids away from them if they believe that the kids are at risk. The parents are sent in into for training or some other agencies for training, and then after a certain time, an assessment is done, and then they decide whether the child should be returned or not. Ordinarily, the child should be returned, except there's something wrong. But over time, there's even one part that of training that is called triple. I think it's triple S, if I get that right. That we were told that majority of parents who agree to go on that course, they end up failing that course, and it has impact on the return of their children. So for this 13 that your organization has been able to support to bring them back home, what would you consider as the what people will call the McCoy, the strategy? How was your organization able to get this done?
Oh, thank you very much. Uh, for clarity, majority of these children, when they have been taken into care, what they usually told the family is their children are not coming back until they clock 18 years. And after 18 years, once they leave the care system, even there's another funding from the government that will support them through to the age of 25. So obviously, definitely, you might not have opportunity of having those children on your side any longer. So basically, what we do is that once the family come to us, we listen to them, because sometimes family might want to tell you the good part of the story, and there's a danger in one aspect of a story. So in a single story. So we try to go back to the local authority, the social worker in charge, to hear from them. What is the situation? What is the problem? And you've mentioned that they're supposed to offer them training. In the last couple of years that we've been working now, the local authority, in particular Middlesbrough, they cannot boast of a particular training they enroll parents for. All what they do is take a children, and that's all. There's no a particular issues. Okay, what exactly are you looking at? You want parents to improve on? They cannot even tell you. They don't even have a plan, because they never plan. It's not in their plan to return the children back. So the only option for the parents, after we have utilized the complaint procedure and the system is kind of covering up, they go back to courts to apply to discharge the care order. Now, that is where the problem lies. If you go to court to apply for the discharge of the care order, the local authority will bring up their own lawyer, legal expert, legal team, either to support or to go against that. So we need to do more in understanding the problem of the families. What are the issues? What are the concerns? Why they take those children into care? And our parenting course and our other community clinic, because after the parenting course, they also attend family and community clinic, in which we provide necessary updates of further one-to-one support to the family. So that has been helpful to us. And we also got the support from the legal team. And not only that, I want to return the honor back to people that we work with in 2021. We invested so much in collaboration and partnership, and that has been so helpful. because we be able to utilize other expertise from different sectors to support Save the Woman, such as Family Mediation Center. They work in collaboration with us in 2021, 2020 and 2021. Destiny Creation Center, Middlesbrough Voluntary Development Agency. We got support from Middlesbrough Together and Cleveland. So in 2021, we so much rely on partnership. That make the work to be more easier for us. So that's the secret behind our success.
Okay. We'll be going for a shorter break, just in about a minute, and when we come back, we'll be looking at the 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 parts or the organization's activism strategy. We'll be looking at that, and then we'll be looking at the impact it's had on what is called as successes uh, in 2021. So please do stay on with us. Now, our viewers will be coming back just after this. Right, thanks you for staying on with us. I still have Comrade Lalekan, the right one here with me. You're welcome back, Comrade.
Very much.
All right. So now you've part of the strategy you've used for some time is that of activism, that is public protest. And I want you to look between whether did you use the same strategy with the organization's activities in Nigeria, like public protest?
Thank you very much. Like I've said, in Nigeria, our work is within the prison system, and they give us opportunity to carry out our services without any obstruction or any kind of different opinion. So they support what we are doing. So we don't use that at the moment in
Oh,
Nigeria.
okay. So right here in the UK, how has that? Because I've seen some of your public protests, and I've also seen some of the locals being involved, and I think I saw maybe one or two elected representatives of the people that have been involved in the protest as well. So that means the host community, some members of the host community are actually buying into what you are doing. So when you look at that strategy, and I know that probably that will not be your first step in engaging with the agencies, government agencies. So it might be like a last resort when things maybe probably are not working or things are not getting to those in authority. So how effective has this strategy been?
Oh, thank you very much. That strategy has been so helpful for us because we emulate that strategy. We extract it from the strategy being used by Martin Luther King. We lay our hand in one of his letters while he was in jail in Birmingham. He used what we call negotiation. He used demonstration. He used uh, partnership like this. So we first of all negotiate with the local authority. We kind of put across for them to put things right. But when we talk about privilege, sometimes people that these are not happening to, they realize they forgot to note that this is a privilege to them that is not happening to us, to them. But those that are these are happening to, and they were saying they were for social justice, but you are not seeing this in their actions. That is what led us to demonstration. And not only that, from what you have also gathered, the reports are out there that saying the social care is unfit for purpose. And particularly Middlesbrough, the Ofsted has found them inadequate in all areas. they said they lack the diverse understanding of the diverse needs of the children and their family they are meant to serve. And the current executive director of children's services for Middlesbrough service, she tends to pretending as if nothing is wrong. She's wasting the time of the community advocates by ignoring a call for independent investigations into the children's social services. And we've got local reports, publications in support of the campaign, and we've got team from National Union of Journalists. They are also supporting the campaign at the moment. And some of the elected leaders across the country, because it is worst in UK as a whole, but the issue in Middlesbrough is so alarming that it requires immediate reformation. It needs to call for reform. Even they need to, the community need to start demanding for compensation, because Middlesbrough local authority is more or less harming children instead of providing support or child protection that's supposed to be. They continue harming children, and these children taken into care are being abused by people that are supposed to provide support for them. And the issue of taking them to care in the first place is an issue of discrimination. So demonstration has been so helpful for us. And just recently, there's one of these organizations that's also coming up now supporting this campaign. They come up with a bus, a van. That van, they've imprinted on it, Middlesbrough social service are liars, criminal storytellers. Not all of them, but majority of them, they are at the moment. And the elected leader, like mayor of Middlesbrough, like the MP, like the councillors, they are afraid of saying the truth. They are backing these corrupt individuals, and they remain silent. So that is the concern of the community. If the social workers were not white, possibly they would have struck them out of service. Even they must have even destroyed their DBS the way they have destroyed the DBS of families that they are unable to get a good job now, and putting family into abject poverty. It is a systemic way of destroying generations, and we can call it a genocide from definition of genocide, because it is a systemic way of erasing the culture, the values of a particular community. And it's so alarming at the moment. So we need that demonstration, and the demonstration has been so helpful. And anytime we want to do demonstration, we always go through the normal procedure. We contacted the local policing, and they also in support that to make sure everything go well. It seems you mute yourself.
Oh, sorry for that technical glitch. Like just going back to the record of what was done last year, we were talking about 20 children were prevented from falling into the hands of the social services. Now, would you take this mostly as part of your organization's efforts in educating parents of what should be expected from the system here, or is it largely due to your engagement with the government agencies like the council, the police, and the social services?
Thank you very much. That is a very, very important area we need to look at. Like I've said, Middlesbrough social services are too quick to take children into care. When a concern is being raised in school, the next step they do is they quickly involve local police, and they go with the family, with the social worker, and they remove these children away from them. But Because now we have been enlightening community, particularly those new migrants. Whenever you are coming to United Kingdom, particularly Middlesbrough, you don't need to commit any crime. All you need to have is to have a child. They will come for you. So once they come for you, get in touch with advocacy community organization, get in touch with your legal team experts, get in touch with lawyer, because they go in there and force them to sign section 20, intimidate them without giving them the right that this is the what it's all about. You can decide not to sign it. Then there are other methods they could use, but they force them to sign section 20. And once they sign that, they rush to court to seek care order. But because the family are not aware, so the message is being spreading across now that as soon as you have issue with safeguarding or anything they call you in school, involve your local advocates. So our early intervention helped us with that 20, in the sense that once they already, in fact, the first 24 hours, the family are traumatized. And once we go in there, at the end of the day, we listen to the families, we get in touch with the local authority, and they will quickly look into the matter. Oh, no case to answer. However, if we have not been involved as early as possible, the children are gone. It is a malicious. Sometimes they realize these are malicious referral. For instance, there's an issue in the school, and you escalate to the police when the mother methods to be used, and those children, even you forcefully remove them. When we are talking about age 13, age 15, they can have a say, but this is not being given to the African communities. They forcefully take away children from African communities. And most of the schools, when the parents go to report, to raise a concern of bullying their children is facing in school, the school use that method to fight back at families, and they report them unnecessarily to social services. And instead of social services to do their job diligently, to follow the Nolan principle, the 7 Nolan principle of public service, they will not, because it is a systemic problem of forcefully destroying a particular community, a strategic way of destroying the values. It's like another method of slavery. They knew they've destroyed their generations, the families, but they are looking at those young boys, young girls from African, Asian minority ethnic community. They are doing well in school, but they kind of jealous in a way to say, no, how could this be happening? And that is the truth. It's a systemic bias, discrimination that is happening. And that is what some of the local leaders, local pastors, religious bodies, Muslim, they need to come together and say enough is enough of discriminating decisions taken by the local authority. It is so alarming in Middlesbrough Council.
Okay. Thank you, Comrade Olalekan. Odedeyi. Of course, I've got Little Queen here, and she's sending a message to you. Well done, Comrade.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much, Little Queen. So now, would it be your suggestion? Because I think the way things are, it's not just only happening in Middlesbrough, just like you mentioned. It's happening in other parts of the UK as well, including Scotland. Would it be a sort of a suggestion that organization like yourself could actually collaborate to create a sort of a booklet or brochure where anyone that is coming, especially with children, into UK for the first time, should not wait until they have problem before registering or before joining those organizations, so that when things happen and they are required to sign, they could insist on not signing until they have maybe uh, a member of the organization present. You know, it's just like in this country, when you have an issue with the police, you are not under an obligation to give any statement until you have your solicitor. Do you think it's something similar that could work since we seem to be having massive problem in this area regarding families, children, and the social services?
Exactly. That is what we are looking at the moment. And like I've said, we are working in collaboration with other African-led organizations across UK. And one of the strategies we are putting in place is to inform all the embassies of these countries to let them aware what is happening in the individual local authority, so that they will be able to kind of also working in collaboration to provide those early information right from where they are applying for the visa, wherever they are coming from, so that they will be able to prepare to know what is the situation of the on the ground. And because if there's a video, if you go on YouTube to type African plenty course, there are family that are already here thinking, can I return my children back to Africa? And that shouldn't be the situation. So we need to kind of empower them from the early stage. And we are also seeing, if you work in with Home Office, to be part of citizenship orientation courses to imbibe in those plans to make sure people are well informed. But that's not the only thing. That's on the aspect of the parents. And let me tell you, these parents not even have any problem. There's majority. Look at the prison service record. The highest, over 50% of children in prison are coming from care system,
Yeah,
not from the birth family. So it is the system that is rotting. It is corrupt. And not only that, the people working in the social services, children social care, they need to enlighten them and work on anti-racism work in the sector, because majority of the African Asian minority staff there, they were even afraid to speak up for their people because of further intimidation or threat to their own family, and they need something to live on. Who is going to pay their bills if they continue to fight for people? If they continue to speaking out on those racism discriminatory decisions, they will silence them. We've got an incident in Middlesbrough. Asian community member is a staff at Middlesbrough Council, just because he went to the court to defend a family that this is a lie against family. The family got their child back. However, the Middlesbrough Social Services, Middlesbrough Council, they struck off this staff. He lost his job just because he said the truth. And the same fear, local elected leaders, councillors, member of parliament, mayor, they are afraid to stand for the truth, for the justice. They are afraid to speak up the truth. If they are not afraid, let them set up independent investigation committee, independent, led by African community experts, researchers, to let them look into those issues. And not only that, those children you have taken into care in the last 5 years, what support have you provided to the family? Nothing. How much have you spent on these children? Huge amount of money.
sure.
You are spending billions of pounds on taking family children into care, but £0 in supporting families. And those people working in those areas are not African minority ethnic community. It is white communities. The lawyers, you don't see us there. The social services, you don't see us there. The policing, you don't see us there. So you are profiting a community against other community. It's still a systemic problem. And
And
we need
that
to
is
come out and speak against this. Enough is enough.
I will, because I was coming to that part as well, because what we're seeing is actually more about the system. I had it on good authority that most of the people that go for care studies, they do have a course that deals with cultural competency. You know, they study about different cultures will have different values and different attitude and different training. So they do go through those studies when they are in school. But once they come out and they get into work, it seems the system is just set up in a way that they have to follow what has been set down in the system. And that's, I believe, that is where you're coming from. That what we have, the real problem is the system here in the UK. Although among those care workers also, you have some of them that will take advantage of the system to do what they already have in mind. How do you think, as the African community? I mean, you've spoken about we only have few of us in the social care. We have probably none amongst the lawyers that go out there to defend families, either whether on the side of the government or on the side of the parents, and even for the job you're doing, which is more about activism, advisory, and co. We have just few organizations running this type of thing. So if we don't have this structure, we're looking at the system, which is like a beast, and we're looking at what we have as African community, which is just a very small structure where we don't have lawyers, we don't have that much of people who are really getting involved. We don't have also we don't have the financial muscle to push for some of these things. So, what's your thought about the best way to break the system? I mean, legally, because there will always be a way.
Yeah, definitely there will always be a way to do that. And the only way at the moment we are using is proactive approach in a way to when you have empowered your community, when you have given them the necessary information to look out for, it will be minimized in a way. For instance, when we started this case in Middlesbrough, they have 800 or 700 number of children in care. But now it has dropped to 500 plus. So you can see the pressure we put on them. And that is not only enough. We are still asking for more because it is evidently based reported that care system should be a last resort. Why are you using it as the first instance for families? And so we need to encourage more of our people to stand firm, to continue pursuing those careers. And when they pursue those careers, they should be connected with their communities. Because if you don't get connected with your community, then it's easily to bring you down by the system, to be overwhelmed, to be kind of pressurized by the system. But when you link with your community, you'll be getting those strengths, those supports. It's about, for instance, majority of family they were able to forcefully take their children away is because they don't have a social network. They don't have a community support network. Once they realize you have a support network, you are well knowledgeable, you know your rights, you know everything that they are talking about, and you are calling for a fair dealings, they kind of say away. So we need to continue to encourage our community, empower our community to look for those careers. We need to
Okay.
invest in those careers. And not only that, we need to build our economy. Like we've mentioned, we need a financial backbone, because the system that is intimidating, victimizing community will deny you the key to success. So it is we that can do it by ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And then I would want to elaborate a bit on that for our viewers before I'll take one or two more questions because we are running to the ends of the program. When we talk about supporting creating finances within the African community, except we begin to um, to patronize African businesses. There is no way we're going to get that finance. So we should make it a conscious effort this year. We're just starting the year 2022 to patronize African businesses wherever we are. And also, I want to also to give a word to our African business owners. We need to deal with people properly as customers. Because there have been reports, some of our business owners, the way they behave to people, especially if those people are Africans. So we need to respect people as customers and the people that are actually coming to patronize you. So we need to up that game. So on both sides, please let's patronize African businesses so that we can begin to have that financial base. And of course, also African business owners, you need to be more professional. So back to you, comrade Olalekan Odedeyi. We might have people that wants to get in touch with your organization. You've also mentioned in the piece you sent across that your organization is also looking for support. So the grant is here for you now. What type of support do you need? And how could people get in touch with your organization? I think you 1 minute. Can you unmute?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that question. We depend on the most volunteers at the moment, so people can get in touch with us. I put the email info@savethewoman.org on the chat box. If you can help us put on the screen, that would be grateful. And the support we are looking for, we need more legal expert team. So if you are out there, your cause is for social justice, please get in touch with us. We need you. If you have experts in the family and civil law, please get in touch. It will be helpful. And also in immigration law, because a lot of people, they were scared because some of the social workers, they are using the immigration status to threaten the families, even to look to make them feel vulnerable. So we need experts in those legal team. And also we need resources to train more of our staff, of our volunteer in legal law in all those areas. So these are the area we need, and particularly the course we are running. Like I've mentioned, we work in collaboration with other organizations, and we need to pay our facilitators. So we need your support on that area. If you like to partner, or you like to support, or you like to ask further inquiry on how to make a support, feel free to contact us through our email. You can also get in touch with me through mobile number, through WhatsApp contact. I will also put WhatsApp contact out there. If anyone that is easier for you, please do get in touch. We need your support. And most importantly, help us go to our YouTube channel.
Okay.
If you search for Afro-Centric Parenting Course, you will see some of the videos from the Save the Woman. You see testimony. You see testimony from families. You will be
What do you
amazed with those
what do you
testimonies.
call it again? Afro Scott?
Afrocentric Parenting Course. If you search Afrocentric
Free
Parenting Scale Course,
Century. I.
yeah. Once you search that on YouTube, it will pop up Save Duma video for you. That might be easier for you. So if you go to our
Okay.
website as well,
Did I get that right? Afro Century.
that trick RC before course, Afrocentric. I've put it on the chat for you, sir.
Okay. We'll check that straight off. Right. Thank you very much for those that have also dropped comments for us. Thanks for joining us. I will just get Comrade Olalekan's number as well for those people that might want to get in touch. needs help, that you actually needed help.
Sorry, that is should be, I made a mistake. It should be 074 048 17935.
So that should be 074
Yes, that's
048. Yeah.
yeah, 074, just that one alone.
We'll get that. We'll get that sorted. Right. So some people have been obviously dropping messages for you, thanking you for what you're doing. So I'll just give you about 2 minutes to speak to all those people that have been supporting you, and also for the people that will support you in future.
Thank you very much. Like I've said, we can only achieve this through more partnership, through collaboration, because this issue is a global issue. Like I've mentioned, people from Sweden, from Canada, from US, Scotland, across UK here, they joined us on this course and they are giving a lot of testimonies. So if you, there are parents that even said they never knew there's manual to parenting. So if we are coming to the United Kingdom, please ask for parenting course. And whenever there's a social service involvement, whatever the situation is, get a solicitor, get a advocate before you commit yourself, before you say anything, because whatever you say will be used against you to some extent. So I want to say thank you to all those that have been supporting us. We appreciate you, and particularly national lottery players. They were the one that first helped us to get the course running. But at the moment, we need more support. Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you very much, Comrade Olalekan Odedeyi from Save the Women organization T-Side UK for coming. Hopefully, we'll keep track on the organization and what you're doing right there in Teesside and other parts of the UK. And of course, you always have our back. Uh, Anytime that you need to get in touch, I'm just like a chat away or a message away, if I can say that. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So that is us coming to the end of the session for today. Remember, we are back here tomorrow. That is Sunday, the 9th of January 2022. And it's been a while since you've spoken to Alagba Femi Odedeyi. So he's going to be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time. So please do join me then. And until then, please do stay safe. For other people that want to stay right on our Facebook page, I'll be joining our brother, Temitope Ololo, on a sort of a security broadcast about Nigeria. So I'll be on the program, and that starts at 5 p.m. So if you're on our Facebook page, do stay on with me there. Otherwise, I catch up with you tomorrow. And that's us signing out. God bless.